All right, let's talk about the financial sector. It sounds super complex, right? Kind of intimidating, even. But here's the thing, it's the engine that powers our entire global economy. It literally touches everything, from your morning coffee to your retirement plans. So, how does this massive, almost invisible system actually work? Well, we're about to break it all down.
Okay, to really wrap your head around the sheer scale we're talking about, just look at this number $109 trillion. That's what all the world's stock markets were worth combined. And to put that into perspective, because that number is just insane. If you spent $1 million every single day, it would take you nearly 300,000 years to burn through it all. It's just a mind boggling amount of cash.
So, you see a number like that, and the obvious question is, what does this colossal system even do? Beyond all the flashy headlines and the chaotic trading floors, what's its actual purpose? How does it impact our day-to-day lives? Well, that is exactly what we're going to dig into.
All right, so here's the game plan. We're going to tackle that huge number. Then we'll get into the three main jobs the system has. We'll look at the two big arenas it operates in, meet the key players, and then, most importantly, we'll see where you fit into the whole picture.
Okay, so first up, the 109 trillion system. Probably the best way to think about the entire financial sector is like it's the circulatory system of the economy. Its main job is to pump capital, that's just a fancy word for money, through the whole system, getting it to businesses and projects that need it to grow. It's just like your heart pumping blood to where it's needed most. And really, this is its most critical function. It's basically a giant bridge for money. It connects people who have savings, like the money you put into a pension fund, with people and organizations who can put that money to good use. We're talking about everything from a cool new tech startup to a city that needs to build a new hospital. Okay, but how does it actually do all this? Well, the whole system really boils down to three fundamental functions that pretty much cover everything. So here they are. You've got the investment chain, which is all about connecting money with great ideas. Then there's managing risk, which is basically about creating financial safety nets for everyone. And last but not least, payment systems. Think of this as the essential plumbing that lets money flow all over the globe. So let's just quickly break those down a bit more. The investment chain, that's that bridge we were just talking about, right? It funds everything from the smallest startup to massive new infrastructure. Managing risk, that's all about creating a buffer against life's uncertainties, using things like insurance. And payment systems, like the SWIFT network you've probably heard of, are basically the superhighways that let money zip from London to Tokyo in a split second, safely and reliably. All right, this next part is super important. To really get a handle on the financial world, you just have to understand one big divide: the difference between wholesale and retail finance. Seriously, it's almost like they're two parallel universes operating at the same time. But it's actually pretty simple when you break it down. Wholesale, that's the B2B side of things. It's finance for the big players. We're talking giant companies, governments, and other huge institutions. Retail, on the other hand, is the B2C side. That's the finance that you and I deal with every day. It's for individuals and small businesses. So, to give you a couple of examples, on the wholesale side, you've got things like massive foreign exchange trades or an investment bank advising on a multi-billion-dollar corporate merger. And on the retail side, well, that's all the stuff you already know: your checking account, your car insurance, your pension plan. See? Pretty straightforward. Okay, so now that we know about these two worlds, who are the actual companies and institutions working in them? Let's meet the key players, and we'll start with the ones you're probably most familiar with. First up, of course, are retail banks. These are the names you see everywhere: the bank branch on the corner, the app on your phone. Their job is pretty simple at its core. They keep our deposits safe, and they lend out money for things like car loans or to help a small business get off the ground. Now, investment banks, they are a completely different animal. They are not for you and me. Nope. They live in that wholesale world, advising giant corporations on these massive blockbuster deals. Think one company merging with a rival or helping a business raise billions of dollars by listing on the stock market. Then you've got pension funds. I like to call these the silent giants of the financial world. They quietly collect all our retirement contributions and then invest that money for the super long term. And because they're managing trillions and trillions of dollars, their investment decisions can literally move entire markets. They're a huge deal. So who's actually making the calls on all that pension money? Well, that would be the fund managers. These are the pros who are running the portfolios, making the day-to-day decisions on what stocks to buy, what bonds to sell, all with the goal of growing our retirement nest eggs. Okay, so we've talked about the big picture. Let's bring this all back down to a personal level. How does the system help you, as an individual, manage and grow your money? Well, that brings us to the world of wealth management. So, in this part of the industry, clients are kind of sorted into different groups based on how much money they have to invest. And that tier determines the level of service you get. It ranges from, standard advice for what they call the mass affluent, all the way up to ultra high net worth individuals. These are people who might have an entire team, a family office, just to manage their fortune. And make no mistake, this is not some small niche corner of the market. We're talking about a staggering $86.8 trillion being managed just for high net worth individuals alone. Remember that $109 trillion number we started with? Yeah, this is a massive slice of that pie, and it's all focused on personal wealth. And you know what's really shaking things up here? Technology. Specifically, something called robo-advice. This is where powerful algorithms are used to give financial advice and manage investments, often without a human ever getting involved. It's basically democratizing the whole field, making really sophisticated investment strategies available to way more people, and usually for a lot less money. So at the end of the day, it all comes back to this one really powerful idea. A well-functioning financial system is all about one thing: efficiency. It's about making sure money flows to where it can do the most good, creating value for individuals and for the entire economy. So as you can see, from the giant global markets all the way down to an AI-powered advisor on your phone, the system is constantly changing. And it really makes you think, right? With tech like crypto and artificial intelligence pushing things forward faster than ever, what is this $109 trillion system even going to look like in another decade? I mean, who knows for sure, but the one thing we can guarantee is that it won't look anything like it does today.